You're listening to the Hustled Up Podcast. We're Holly and Laura, besties since birth, cleaning business owners, multi-passionate doers, and founders of the Hustle Haven, a modern business education and networking collective built for fellow entrepreneurs who crave growth, support, and real connection. Now, we're your go-to girlies for the real side of entrepreneurship. We're covering wins, fails, and the messy middle. So come on in and let's talk branding, booking, burnout, and everything in between. If you're in serious need of tips, tea, total transformation, and that let's freaking go energy, you're in the right place. Grab your earbuds, turn up the volume, and let's hustle up. Hello, hello, friends, followers, listeners, supporters, and overall badass business owners. Welcome back to an episode of Hustled Up. We are your hosts. My name is Holly.
And my name is Laura.
And I am so excited to be back in studio for the second week in a row. But let me say, it has been insane. Freaking sane. So we went to, just a little recap, a little update. We went to Tennessee. You guys know that. We came back, we filmed, we dropped, and I did not even fully announce that episode because it's been a hot mess. We fell so behind while we were gone. And then we took a second trip, but we actually took a fun trip. Who would have known those exist?
Do we do that?
It's the thing, I guess.
Wow.
And so we took a fun trip, a fun friends trip to Salem, which this was our second time going. It's last time it was me, Laura, Ashley, and our other dear friend. This time it was me, Laura, and Ashley. You guys already know who she is. And so the three of us being out of office,
mess. It's Monday because once again, we kind of waited till the last minute, but we're still here and that's what matters. But I feel like Mondays now are the day where I just contemplate crawling into a hole, going back to bed, or jumping in front of that train that just passed by. I'm kidding. But seriously, I can't catch up on a regular Monday. Forget about the Monday after a trip.
Yeah, it's been increasingly difficult, but honestly worth it. I mean, we needed to unplug, we got to unwind, and personally, we are the Halloween girls, according to a stranger in a Bath and Body Works once. So Laura's showing off her shirt. So if you're watching on video, you're seeing that. Actually, I kind of have a Halloween shirt on too.
I made you that shirt.
It says My Type of Man. It's got all the horror figures on it in case you can't see from, where you're watching from. But pretty good stuff. So we are the Halloween girls, and we love Salem. We love the history, and we love all the Halloween spooky vibes, the witchiness. We love it. It's always a fun time. And at this point, I am essentially a Salem travel guide. So if you need recommendations for your trip, please do hit a sister up and I'd be happy to help you. But anyway, so we are back in office, second week in a row, but sheesh, it was not without like a ton of effort and like just stress. But we are here, and we are here with a super fun episode. I am so excited. We are back with a Hustled Up Book Club episode. So we're going to be talking today about Sarah Knight's The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a Fuck. And I'm just going to warn you that if you are watching this in front of your children, you're not going to want to do that. You're going to want to pop in your headphones because, like Sarah Knight, we are going to be dropping the F-bomb quite a bit in this episode just because that's the book. If you listen to the book, you'll see there's a lot of F-bombs as well. So we're going to be doing the same. But honestly, like the life-changing magic of not giving an F is just, it's not the same.
No, it doesn't slap the same, honestly. And you have to be, if you're somebody who's sensitive to cursing, which I totally understand, this book is not for you. So you'd want to skip this episode anyway. If cursing does offend you, I totally get it. This is not the book for you. This is not the episode for you. And that's totally cool.
Yeah. So if you're still here, great. Welcome. We are here to cuss like a sailor and get it going. This book is so good. There's so many really good takeaways. And honestly, if you feel like you're giving too many fucks, this is the book for you. We're going to cut to a quick commercial and then let's come back and talk about it.
Hey business owners, are you looking for a better way to communicate with your employees? Whether you've just grown tired of your boring, unresponsive email threads or you're sick of paying tons of money for something like Slack or Connect Team, Discord is your answer and I'm going to teach you all about it. In the Hustle Haven's brand new course, Discord 101, I am going to walk you through step by step on how to create a Discord server for your business. This detailed course features over 90 minutes of video content, as well as a bunch of PDF downloads to get your server ready to absolutely slay your employee communications. Get ready to level up your company culture with this free platform. Don't wait any longer. Discord 101 is the course for you.
Okay, we are back, and it's been a hot minute since we've done a book club episode, and they are low-key one of my favorite episodes to do because I just love books. But Holly found this book first and introduced it to me, and I'm obsessed. And I feel like the thing that we need to say right off the bat is that this book is in a sense a parody and sort of inspired by Marie Kondo's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, which I think is so funny. And she has this big disclaimer in the beginning where she's like, Marie Kondo does not support this book or is an affiliate of this book. But that's another great book to read that I did just have to throw out there. If you have not read The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, as your fellow cleaning ladies, go read that book because it is life-changing. My favorite part about this book, I will say right off the bat, is how relatable it was. I was like, oh my God, I give so many fucks about so many things.
No, literally, like it's what I learned is that I care too much about too many things and I'm giving too much of my energy to too much. And there's a way to not give a fuck without being a butthole about it, right? So like without being mean and just like conserving your fucks, because if you're giving too many of them to too many people and scenarios, then you're honestly just going to burn out. And I feel that to my core.
Yeah.
Like to my core, I feel that. So Sarah Knight, I love her. I'm obsessed with her. Like, Sarah, listen to this episode and then come on our podcast. Honestly, I may just have to email her anyway.
Yeah.
I love her. I love her. I listened to the books and her voice is just so like soothing. And
her narration style, because I feel like that can really make or break a book. I've listened to some really good books where I'm like, I can't stand this narrator. Her voice is so cute and the way that she speaks is so thoughtful. I don't know. I really like the way she narrates her books.
Yeah, I agree. And what's really cool about this book is not only is she just talking about like the importance of not giving too many fucks and why you shouldn't give them, but she actually gets super tactical about it as well. So, you would think like, okay, like how easy is it to just not give a fuck? Like, but no, there's like a way to do it. And there's a way to like budget the amount of fucks you're giving. And so I really love it. And I'm not going to give away the whole book because you guys absolutely need to listen to it or read it yourself. But I don't know. I don't want to give too much, but
you're right. It's like you want to give enough that you want to read it.
Right.
But I don't want to give away her whole premise.
Right.
I want you to go read it.
But in a nutshell, she basically says step 1 is to take an inventory list of your fucks and what you're giving them for. Right. So for me, like a couple of things I thought of was, do I give a fuck about baby showers or bridal showers? Not really. Not really. It's not in my budget. It's just, I can't give a fuck about them anymore. I don't want to give a fuck about them anymore. And at my age, I'm coming into baby and bridal shower like season, I guess. And if I'm free, sure, like I'll go. But I think that I was thinking about it like, there is a way, and she explains this in the book, there's a way to not go to it and instead, and not be an asshole about it, right? Like you send your card and you say thank you and you politely RSVP no, but thank you for being, thank them for including you and whatever. But I think that the main thing is to realize that it's okay to say no to things or to not allow them in your life. So for example, maybe you have a family that loves talking about politics, but you don't really give a fuck about what side of that political line they're on. And you don't really care. Like, you don't want that to ruin your family relationship, right? So if you're out to dinner with like your aunt and uncle and they start talking politics, it's okay to say, not maybe to them, like maybe not in these words, but to say like, I don't really give a fuck about politics. And so let's move on to a different conversation.
Yeah. I feel like the whole thing that I enjoyed about the book was the fact that you can not give a fuck and not be an asshole.
Yeah.
Because like that's what she explains all throughout the book is how to not be an asshole. Because in my mind, before I read this book, the thought of saying, I just don't want to do that, or I don't like baby showers, I don't want to go. I'm like, I can't do that. I would sound like a horrible person or a bad friend. But the way that she explains it and the tactical, tangible steps that she gives makes you not an asshole. Like instead of going to the baby shower, she sits on her couch with a glass of wine and sends and delivers a beautiful gift in the mail.
Yeah.
Like, period.
Yeah. And so, because I feel like when you're saying no to certain things or certain people, like you instantly feel guilty.
Oh, yeah. No, I know I do. That's why I overstretch myself way too thin because I say yes to things that I shouldn't. And then I'm sitting there at the event and I'm miserable and I regret saying yes. And it's so funny because as an invitor, like let's say I invite you out to do something and you are having a bad time, you didn't want to be there, I'm going to feel horrible that you're there.
Yeah.
So I don't know why that's not reciprocated on the other side. Like I would not want to force somebody to do something that they wouldn't want to do. So why do I feel like I have to force myself to do things I don't want to do?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's
Yeah.
like a mouthful, but that's literally how I feel.
Yeah. I know. I totally agree. And I think like, and we'll have to do a book club episode on this too. Like, you have to embrace your Mel Robbins and let them be upset about it. Let them not take it well. At that point, once you've decided you're not going to give a fuck about something, and I use air quotes because like to a degree you give a fuck. Like you give a fuck that your friend's having a baby, but you just don't give a fuck to be there at the baby shower.
Yeah, you don't care to watch them open up gifts for 3 hours.
Like there's a difference. So like at that point, you like once you have figured it out, then it's on them. Like it's on them to figure like to deal with that.
Yeah. And they're allowed to be, because I feel like you can only control what you do and how kind you are about the way you do it. You can't control how that person's going to react to it.
Yeah.
Because one person might say, I totally get it. Thanks so much for sending the gift. We missed you. Somebody else might say, wow, I don't want you in my life. If you don't care about me enough to not come to my baby shower, I don't want you in your life. But you can't control how that person's going to feel or think.
Yeah.
And there's a way to do it too, which she discusses in the book. Obviously, Holly and I, we both don't like baby showers.
We don't like babies.
We don't like babies. Pretty much. We like fur babies.
I'll go to your puppy shower.
I threw Holly a puppy shower and that was so fun.
So fun.
So fun. But to each his own. But you don't have to be a jerk about it. You don't have to say, actually, I don't like babies and I don't want to sit and watch you open gifts for 3 hours. Don't say that. That's you being a bad friend and kind of being an asshole. Instead, you can say it in a much more tactful, kind way.
Yeah. And I think that once you start budgeting those fucks, so you figured out what you want to give fucks about and what you don't want to give fucks about, and then you start putting it into practice, figuring out like what in life brings you joy, right? She talks about that. Like, does it bring you joy? No, in some cases it doesn't bring you joy. So it's time to not give a fuck about it anymore. But once you've done that, you can truly be intentional with everything else. So another thing that I thought about this. I thought about this every time I listened to this book. I was really thinking about this, and I really hope that there's no offense taken by my brothers and my sisters-in-laws, because I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't give a fuck to buy my nieces and nephew gifts anymore. I just think it's too draining. I don't know what they have. I don't know what toys they have. I don't know what clothes they have. I don't even know what sizes they are anymore. I don't know what they like. I don't know what the kids like anymore. Plus, like for every holiday and birthday, you've got everybody buying them gifts. So I just don't give a fuck to go shopping and like stress myself out with this anymore. So instead, I decided from now on, I will probably do like one small little gift so that they have something to open, because I do give a fuck about them enjoying opening a gift, right?
Right.
But it's going to be like something small and a gift card. So then mom and dad can figure out what they need, what they like, what they want. And so that's how we're going to do it from now on. And so I mean, I don't really need to tell them that I'm doing it that way, but if they ever asked, I would just say, hey, listen, this is easier. It's better for the kids. Actually, I think I have told them that.
Yeah.
Like, this is better. Like, now you can get them something they truly want or need instead of me getting them something that's just going to sit in the garbage. And actually, I started to put this into practice when I started to buy, what's the word? Experience gifts instead of like, those
Physical
kinds
object gifts.
physical object. Yes, exactly. So I've already started putting this into practice because doing that is like no different to me than buying a gift card or something like that. But at least I'm not like shopping in the store for hours, looking at the age restrictions on toys and like stuff like that. I just don't want to do it anymore. So that was something I very intentionally was like, I don't want to do this. And then I thought about it even further. And I'm just going to give you an example. So I think that once I start like delegating to an assistant, right? So I'm going business here. Once I start delegating to an assistant, I'm going to be able to further figure out what fucks I do and don't want to give and like how I can go about not giving them. So I think at some point I'm not going to buy anybody gifts anymore.
But you mean you're going to have your assistant do it?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm going to counter argue that.
I love it.
What about like Christmas shopping? Because I feel like you low key like buying Christmas
So
gifts.
I do to a degree. I don't know how to say this without sounding mean, but I do for certain people.
That's fair. Because no, that's fair. And I don't think that's mean at all because somebody who you know is going to like everything you get, aka me, versus somebody who, the kids, for example, who you're like, I don't know what size they are. I don't know what they have. I don't know what other people have gotten them. That's a very different circumstance because I feel that way too.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that at some point, like, so I give a fuck about, this is like where, you're budgeting, right? Like, and Sarah Knight does talk about this in the book, but you're budgeting about what you do and don't give fucks about. I give a fuck that I am more on top of getting my mom flowers on Mother's Day, that I'm more on top of sending thank you cards if, I don't know, like if people come to an event of mine or something, like I want to be more intentional with my communication. I don't give a fuck to write out thank you cards. I don't give a fuck to order the flowers. I just want to be able to, I just want to do it. Like the thought is there, but I don't want to implement anymore.
Right. You don't want to be the one to actually do it. You give a fuck that your mom gets flowers on Mother's Day. You don't give a fuck to be the one to say, I need to go pick out the exact kind and this and that.
Yes.
That
Because
makes
like the
sense.
thought is there to do it. And I care about my mom. I love my mom, but I don't really, she's not going to care what kind of flower she gets. I don't care what kind of flower she gets. And because I've been so insanely busy with life and business, she hasn't gotten flowers. So I feel like once I start delegating a little bit of my life more, this is why I wanted to talk about this book today too, because it kind of can like go into business, but you can kind of think about like, what are the things you do and don't give a fuck about? And are there ways to delegate things that you can no longer care about?
Yeah. And it's going to look different for everyone too, because you may be listening to this and you're like, well, I really like baby showers. I love watching somebody open up little cute baby clothes and little baby booties and whatnot. And that's fine. Or you might be like, I love shopping. Like for me, for example, one of our clients, I'll never forget, I was cleaning her house and she is very wealthy. Love her. But she had her assistant wrapping all her gifts. And I was like,
gosh, I would love that.
See, Holly would love that. For me, that's one of my favorite things to do. I love taking the time to sit there, look at what I got them, wrap it, listen to Christmas music. For me, that's an experience that I would never want to give up. But there's other things that I might want to give up. So it's going to look different for every single person. And don't compare your fuck budget to your friend's fuck budget or think I should be wanting to do that or why don't I want to do that. Whatever your reason is, it's cool. You don't have to justify it to yourself or to anybody else.
Yeah, that's a great way to word it.
Yeah. And I think in terms of justifying too, I do want to say real quick, because for me, a big thing that I have been trying to be conscious of not giving a fuck about is over explaining myself. Because sometimes because again, I overexert, I overextend myself, I say yes to everybody. And I'm trying really hard to be conscious of not having to always explain myself. If it's a Friday night and I have nothing to do, no plans, and my plans are to sit at home and veg on the couch, I don't want to have to lie and make up something. I want to be able to say, oh, I have plans to stay inside and do nothing without, or I can't. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I can't go. I can't, I'm not available. I don't have the capacity for that.
Mhm.
And just really trying not to have to justify myself further than that. That's
Yeah.
something I've been working on.
Yeah. Yeah. That, gosh, yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it's hard.
I struggle with that too. I feel like I always have to, I do that in our business too. Like, I feel like, like when even for example, today I ran a card through the system because it was initial cleaning. It was last week. I was like, it's too late to send an invoice now. I'm just going to run the card. They already have the card on file. They know. And the customer asked like, oh, like, did you run the card? And I was like, oh yeah, because this, that, and this. I'm over explaining why I did it. And I'm like, why did I have to do that? I could have just said, yeah, like I ran the card this morning.
Yeah, right.
Like you were going to pay for it regardless. So what does it even matter? Like, why did I do that? Like, I feel like I always struggle with over explaining.
Mhm.
And that's a really good thing to not give a fuck about, is like the need to justify or like explain it or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's human nature. I mean,
Yeah.
people do that even on the phone. They'll call for a cleaning and they're like, well, I work a full-time job. My husband works a full-time job. I have a kid. And I'm like, honey, you don't need to justify yourself. You want a
Yeah.
cleaning and that's great.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. You want
Yeah.
help? That's great.
Yeah.
It's human nature to have to justify and
Yeah.
come up with all these explanations. And I just think that the main thing I learned from this book is, which I already knew this, but it was more of a reminder, time is the most valuable commodity. Because she
It
talks
is.
in the book about how budgeting your fucks will give you more time, more money, and there was a third thing. More time, more money, and
Oh my gosh, I
oh my
can't
gosh,
remember.
I forgot what it was. But those were the main two that she said that most people are spending. You're either spending your time or your money. For me, my time is the most important thing. So you have to figure out when you're budgeting your fucks what's more valuable to you, your time, your money, or I'll think of what that third thing was. Or actually go read the book so you can find out what the third thing was, honestly.
Yeah. I forgot that she puts them into categories. It had been a while since I read it. So yeah. And it's true. Like, what are you willing to spend like on certain things? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think for me, the reason I loved this book so much is because I tend to, which some people may disagree with this because I can come off very bratty sometimes in just life in general and whatever. But I actually low key am a major people pleaser. And I've gotten better at setting boundaries. I still have a lot of work to do in this way, but this book kind of teaches you how not to be such a people pleaser, and to kind of like take care of yourself first, and figure out like what is important to you, and and how are you going to go about doing it, and like the tactical strategies to basically saying no.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say no. I mean, I've gotten, like I said, I've gotten better at it. And but it teaches you how to do that if you struggle with saying no.
Yeah, it is very hard. It's, I feel like, one of the hardest things, and I feel like it's almost a muscle you have to flex, because I know we've talked about this with the business, how we used to say yes to literally everything. You could be like,
Everything.
can you wash
God.
my feet? And I'd be like, sure. And now somebody's like, can you do this one little thing? Can you handle my blind? Sorry, not our scope of work. So it's like a
Yeah.
muscle you have to flex. And I think it's the same thing in real life too. And I will say, the real ones will be okay with your nose.
Yeah.
And again, you have to give and take though, because I feel like it is a balancing act. You can't go from this people pleasing yes man to all of a sudden saying no to every little thing that a friend invites you to or asks you to, because you start doing that, you're going to stop getting invited.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a balance. And, some things you may have to do that you don't want to, like a funeral. Or like,
oh God.
I don't know. That's like the best thing I can
that
think
is
of.
one that nobody wants to do though.
Nobody
so
wants to do
that
but
makes
they'll do
sense.
it. But they're like, you have to, again, it's a budget. We're not saying have no fucks on anything, but you got to budget them.
Yeah, exactly. Because then if you make space for like, if you kind of take some of them out of your budget, then you can make space for things, that are more important to keep in the budget, so it really is all about budgeting. And another thing that I love that she says in this book is she talks about personal policy a lot. And so what she means by that is like, she gave this funny example that she hated doing trivia nights. Hated it. She hated trivia night. And when you, if you listen to the book and hear her talk about it, it's so funny. She really takes a dump on trivia. And so if ever somebody invites her to trivia, she says, no, it's personal policy that I don't go to trivia nights.
I love that.
It's personal. Another thing she covered, which was so good. Oh my gosh. Now it's all starting to come back to me. Is often like donations for fundraisers, specifically in the office. So like if you have a coworker ask you to donate to like their polar bear plunge or something, like it's personal policy that I don't do this because then I would have to do it for everybody. And so she says that you can blame, and the way we do it in business, right? Like if someone says, oh, can you wet wipe each slat of my blinds? No, it's policy that we don't do that. Can you change the duvet cover? No, company policy, we don't do that. We don't even explain why it's company policy. And we do have our reasons. In some cases, it's liability, employee risk, injury risk, right? Or things like break risk. So there are reasons why we don't do things, but we don't explain all of that. We just say, no, it's company policy. So she says in the book that you can't overdo it. She does say that you can't overdo it. You can't have too many personal policies, but you could just say it's personal policy. I don't do this. It's personal policy. No, it's personal. It's against my personal policies. So if you haven't figured out what your personal policies are, right? We push the business policies on you guys all the time. Like figure out what they are, figure out what you do and don't do. It's no different in real life.
Yeah, I don't even know what my personal policies are. Like I read the book, but I feel like I didn't do the deep work that she asks you to do in the book. I didn't do any of that. It just got my brain going. But I'm like, what are my personal policies? Like, do you have any that you can think of off the top of your head that are now your personal policy?
Honestly, no. I'm still working on this too. But I think like for me, and this might be a little too, I think this is a little too broad, but like if I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just kind of like my big one. But there's no like hard and fast, like, no, it's personal policy that I don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, for example, with like the fundraisers, like sometimes I want to donate, right? I mean, I would say personal policy for me is I will never like, and I know this sounds so like so bad. It sounds so bad to say it. But whenever the grocery store asks me to donate to like hungry kids or whatever, it's personal policy that I don't. I would just rather do it on my own, like knowing where my money's going. They don't even tell you where it's going. They don't tell you what charity they're working for. Like nothing.
Yeah.
Like
Taco Bell does that too. I hate that. I used to say yes. I used to be a person that says yes, and no matter what they're rounding up on. And then I did more research, and a lot of these nonprofits are profiting at the top. So a Taco Bell is always like, do you want to run it to support students? And I'm like, support them to doing what? What am I supporting them?
How so?
Doing drugs?
Which students?
Like what? Yeah.
Where are they? Where are the students? How old are the students? What charity is this?
Help with?
Like I would rather like, for example, I do the Samaritan's Purse Christmas box every year. Love doing that. Will always love to do that. Want kids to be able to open up Christmas gifts. Or like, you know, maybe if there was like something where you donate a backpack or something like that, or a local charity, because I love supporting local charities. But like, I don't add extra on my grocery store or like fast food order. I just don't do it.
Yeah. And I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, because it's not, you know, I don't like to consider myself completely selfish. I give where I feel where it resonates.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think I really got to think on this because I'm like, I don't think I have any hard and fast personal policies on things.
No. Well, a lot of people don't realize you should have them.
Yeah, because it almost feels silly, like my personal policy. Like, what is that? And if you start implementing any of this stuff, if you read the book and you start implementing, I do think that people will look at you funny.
I did think, actually, we do kind of have a personal policy.
We do?
Yes. It's that we don't want children at a non-children event.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like I've had to tell my brothers and my friends, like, no kids here. This is a grown-up event. There's going to be alcohol. This is a grown-up dinner. This is a grown-up party. No kids allowed. I've had to set that hard and fast rule. And for me, my personal policy is that I don't want children at places where I'm going to be drinking, where I'm going to have less of a filter, where it's not suitable for kids. I just don't. Plus, I just don't really like kids. I love my nieces and nephew. I love my friends' kids, but I am just not a person who thrives around them.
Yeah, that's a
It's
really
just,
good one.
there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. It's just who I am. It's like hardwired in my brain. And I know for a fact that when I have, or if and or when I have a child, it will be personal policy to find a babysitter.
Yeah.
Because
No,
I
know.
wouldn't put somebody through that, because you just don't know. Everybody is different. Some people may love being around kids. Maybe they want them at their family dinner, or not family dinners, like birthday dinners or whatever. But for me, like I don't have any children myself, and so I want to be around children in a children's setting, but I don't want them at like an adult setting that I'm putting together. I just don't.
Yeah. And that's more than reasonable. And when you do set these policies, we have had to have some uncomfy conversations where some people that do have children, they just simply don't get it because they might have a different stance on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah. And I never knew it was just personal policy, but that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. That's a good
That's
one.
just what it is for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's your kind of personal policy
Yeah,
too.
that is my personal policy.
So,
Yeah.
and luckily, like we've gotten better at like iterating our personal, that personal policy without saying it's a personal policy. We've gotten better at it though. But it's a struggle. You know, we're at that age where a lot of almost everybody we know has children, kind of,
we're
except for
like
us.
the odd one out in this
Yeah.
case because
Yeah.
we don't have children and we are one of the only ones in our friend
Yeah.
group that doesn't have any
Yeah.
children.
So I don't know if it's going to get to a point where kids are just going to be part of the equation. I'm not sure, but for now, it's not.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
So I think that that's why I loved the book so much. It just really got my brain thinking. And in the book, Sarah drops a ton of scenarios, like tons of examples about things scenarios you may catch yourself in and whether or not you should be like giving your fucks about them. So I think it's really worth the listen. I really do. And she does have like worksheets and stuff that if you download the Audible version, you can like download those. Like, you know how a lot of Audible books come with like the PDFs and stuff. So you can do that. That is an option. I didn't. I just did it all in my brain. But I think it would be helpful to like either get the hard copy or to download the worksheets and kind of work side by side with her so that you can really like organize your fucks.
Yeah, I would like to do that. I'm the worst component of listening to books and then not implementing a damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think I'm a firm believer in you need to read a book at least twice. Like I was just saying to Justin, my boyfriend, the other day that because he was like, oh, you have Atomic Habits, right? Which I'm going to actually buy that for him for his birthday. He was like, you have Atomic Habits, right? And I was like, no, I borrowed it from my friend. I read it once. I listened to it twice. Haven't implemented a damn thing.
God, same though.
But like it's so easy to be an overconsumption queen where you're just learning. But when are you implementing? So I do think that downloading those PDFs, very helpful.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be my next step.
Yes, for sure. So we recommend The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a Fuck very highly. I was definitely on the fuck train first.
She was like, you need to read this book. And then I did end up reading. So she has a whole series of what she calls her, oh my God, what does she call them? She calls them her, it's like not self-help books or.
Oh, because she's the anti-guru. The anti-self-help. The self-help anti-guru, right? Or something like
that. Yes.
Yeah.
And so she has a whole series of these anti-self-help books. And I've only read one other one, which I think was
Calm the Fuck Down.
And that was also really good.
Yes, that was another good one. We'll definitely do like a Sarah Knight series because she's just great. But she has a lot of them like Grow the Fuck Up. And I don't even remember. There's a ton of really, really good ones. But we kicked it off with this one because it came recommended. And so as soon as I started listening to it, like no joke, I was like a chapter in, and Laura knows, like I was like, I don't give a fuck about this anymore. I don't give a fuck about this. And then I was like, okay, I'm getting like too crazy about it. So like,
she literally was like, we were at the pool, and she was like, is it in my fuck budget to not get ice cream today? I don't know. And I was like, what are you talking about?
No, literally, I was like, is it in my fuck budget to like care that I'm like just not losing weight and whatever? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
And Laura was like, what are you talking about?
I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
I am constantly consulting the fuck budget.
Honestly, this was a good reminder because I feel like I have slipped off of my fuck budget wagon. Like my dad was just giving me shit the other day. It's so funny that we're talking about this. He was giving me shit the other day. He was like, you say yes to everything. You spread yourself too thin. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. They're not talking about this. I'm like, I need to revisit my fuck budget.
Yeah.
And figure it
Like
out.
one of my fucks is going to a rot day this weekend, and nobody, not one person, if you, friends and family, if you are listening to this episode, do not ask me to do anything for you. Do not ask to see me. Do not even call me. I don't want to be bothered. It is not in my fucks to do whatever you need me to do. It is only in my budget to rot and stay in bed.
So you want to go get dinner on Saturday?
Honestly,
You
tempted.
wanna
Let's go get wings.
Oh my, Ollie, that's not your budget.
Yeah, but getting wings might be in the budget.
Oh, okay.
And then followed by a rot day before and after.
Oh, okay. I was just screwing with you, but okay, we can go get wings. No, every time Holly says she's having a rot day, I'm like, so movie night.
I know it's hard
what?
because Steve always wants to do something too on my rot days because like I'm available. But honestly, it's things I like that I can rot do. Like I can rot in the Korean barbecue place. Like I can rot watching a movie. You know what I mean?
I feel like every time Holly wants a rot day, every single time, because Steve and I are very, very similar in the fact that like we are out and about creatures. We like to be out and about. And then Holly and Justin are very similar in the fact that they are homebodies and they are fine just sitting at home doing nothing.
Totally cool with it. Love it. Thrive in it.
Honestly, me and Steve are the reason why you never have a rot day.
Could easily hibernate for like a month straight, but would never happen.
Not me.
No, but it's true. But honestly, it's all like we vibe well.
Yes.
So it's fine. Like I'll do
But
dinner and a movie.
If you wanted a rot day, I would understand because I'm a real one. So that's your reminder
I know.
if they don't understand, they're not a ride or die.
Yes, or you just need to, or you just need to train them.
Yeah, you teach people how to treat you.
Yeah.
So if your friends are getting mad at you that you say no, is it because you've trained them that you're always available at their beck and call? Think about that.
Yeah,
something to think about.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, this has been fun.
It was good.
I love our book club episodes. We need to do more of these, honestly.
We do need to do more book club because these were good. Good reminder, for sure.
Yeah. And if you guys like these book club episodes, definitely let us know. Or maybe if you have a book recommendation for us, we're always looking for new books. So definitely let us know. If you're like, oh my gosh, there's a book that you need to read, please let us know. Slide into our DMs, reach out to us. We love a good book.
Perfect.
Love it. All right.
Perfect.
Are we skiddily doing on out of here?
Yes. But in the meantime, guys, you already know, connect with us. Social links will be in the description below. Slide into the DMs, connect with us. I do think next week we will have a guest.
Yes, we do have a guest lined up. She is in the clean talk community and she's fabulous.
Yes. So make sure you come back next week and let us know if you end up picking up this book or if you've already read it. And let us know what's in your fuck budget. I'm just nosy.
Oh, yeah. I would love to know. Let me add things to my budget.
And take things out.
Yes, exactly. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for listening. As always, go have a kick-ass week and we'll see you next time.
Bye.